Hey folks, welcome to the Wealth Transfer with TC. Today I'm going to be going over AMC and Shiba Inu. I'm going to talk about the Federal Reserve interest rate hike a little bit and a couple other things. But first, before I get into that, folks, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing information, giving you my thoughts and my opinions on that information. And if you guys like these videos that I make, the support links are down below in the description and also the About section of YouTube, the Patreon, PayPal, and so on. So the first piece of news that I want to get into is the Federal Reserve raised the rates by 0.5 percentage point, the biggest hike in 2 decades to fight inflation. And that's what the stock market was waiting on. They were waiting on this rate hike. So we've seen the Dow and some of the other markets begin to rally. And we're starting to see some of the cryptocurrencies rally too as well. And if you currently look at the Dow, it's up by 693 points today. It was actually up a little bit higher than that. But this is what the stock markets and the cryptocurrency markets were waiting on. And so we got that now. So I do expect over the next week, some of the stocks and investments that they're in begin to skyrocket, right? It's not something that's going to happen immediately with every single one, but we're starting to see the stock market react positively after this rate hike. Now, the only other piece of news that I'm looking for that's going to be anything negative is the inflation report numbers that's going to be coming out in the middle, close to the middle of May. And Christopher Harris had prophesied about a 10% inflation, right, to go from its 8.1 or 8.5 to 10%. So I'll be looking for that, prophetically speaking. So looking at AMC at this moment, I'm done buying AMC. It's currently sitting at $15.85. It opened up at $14.68. And I actually made my last major purchase when it was under $15, and I'm not buying anymore. I had shared a long time ago about AMC when it was at $15 or $14 or so. It actually dropped down to about $5. And then from there, it went up to a little bit over 70. All right, but I believe that this time, the next time that it squeezes, it's going to squeeze a lot higher than $70. And I've shared a video in the past about all the prophetic dreams and visions concerning AMC and how high that it's going to go. And it's all the way from $100 all the way up to almost $1 million. So people are seeing something. And we do have some prophetic words concerning AMC more recently about its takeoff. So I am still expecting that. I don't always expect every prophet to be right or its timing to be correct, but this is a stock that I have shared and believe, prophetically speaking, that it's going to squeeze at some point and that it's going to skyrocket at some point. Now we're just waiting for the catalyst, and it could be the margin calls, shorts covering, and I think there might be some other things, maybe something coming out from the SEC, right, as they've been cracking down on some of these shorts and these companies that are facilitating corruption within the stock markets. So we'll just wait to see what the rest of May holds for AMC. I'm excited about it. And when we do reach that point, a lot of the profits will be going into a lot of the other cryptocurrencies and other stock. And also currently as we speak, the S&P is up, the NASDAQ Composite, the Russell 2000 Index, they're all currently up right now, which is a good sign. It's a very good sign for the things that we have been waiting for. Now, on the Shiba Inu, it had been actually hanging around 40s, 2005 or 200 or 2010, and it actually dipped below, I believe it was on April the 30th, it actually dipped below the 0.002 and ended up at 0.000018. And so, like I said, I have been buying on the dips, and I'm going to continue to buy Shiba Inu as I try to obtain my 100 million Shiba Inu goal. And hopefully that I'll be able to obtain that through other investments too as well, like AMC or any other investments that I'm currently in. Now, one of the things that people are expecting, and I'm not going to try to explain it here, you can look this up, but Shibarium, a documentation coming soon, says Shiba Inu's Satoshi. We can expect more information on Shibarium to come pretty soon. Now, Shibarium is a blockchain layer 2 solution first proposed by Roshi, the creator of Shiba Inu coin. Once it launches, once it launches, SHIB tokens will be migrated to the Shibarium. Okay, so this is pretty huge for the Shiba Inu community. So this is coming. It's just going to be a matter of time before this all works out. Now, I shared with you guys that I'm doing the research, like with Elon Musk and Vitalik Buterin, and I'm trying to figure out all the coins that they possibly could have created. And I have certain standards from that. Just because it's a dog coin doesn't mean that they created it. Some of those things are like, are the creators anonymous? Did Elon or Vitalik Buterin, did they, either one of them, either talk about it, tweet about it, like it, or mention it in a news article? And so I have certain standards. And what I'm beginning to find out is that some of these coins I do believe that are attached to Elon and Vitalik is that they're all doing the same thing. They're all developing their own swaps, and they're all developing their own ecosystem. Now, it might be very well that some of these other coins might be grafted into the Shiba Inu ecosystem, right? Like you see Bone, Leash, and Ryoshis. I'm expecting to see the same thing like with Baby Doge. That was the prophetic coin that Prophet Solomon talked about, and they are moving forward now with their own ecosystem. I'm still doing the research, and I'm going to be putting out a list of the Patreon members, some of the research that I found. And also, I'm going to be putting out a list of all the coins and tokens that I'm going to be investing in, either from taking profits from Shiba Inu or if we get a BTC flash crash, because that is one of the things I'm still expecting to happen. If Dr. Maria Conwell talked about Shiba Inu and it came to pass, right? It was a coin that wasn't in existence, and now that it is, right? And she talked about the flash crash. Christopher Harris has been talking about the BTC flash crash and what pricing points, if these prophetic events happen, what do you think is going to happen with the BTC flash crash? It's going to happen. And I believe it wholeheartedly. And that's going to give you the ability to be able to invest in all these other different coins. And it's going to give you the ability to really transform your wealth, right? Because if you look at what you have right now, and even if everything's skyrocketed, you're still going to do really, really well. But with a BTC flash crash, you're going to have the ability to invest in a lot of these different coins that are going to skyrocket. A lot of these different prophetic coins. Some of them don't even have to be prophetic coins. Like Crow, from crypto.com, Chronos. And I believe that that's a coin that's going to be up there over $100, $200, and maybe even close to where the Binance coin is at some point down the road in the future. You see where crypto.com and where they're headed to. And yeah, they have some issues, and they'll recover from some of those issues, but it is going to be a platform that's going to be pretty huge down the road in the future. And they put a lot into advertising. They put a lot of work into their platform. And the other thing that I do want to mention really quick concerning your sell limit orders for Shiba Inu, part of the purpose of this is to, when they do sell off, right? Say you got some that sell off at 1 cent or 2 cents. Part of the purpose is also to reinvest back into Shiba Inu and then take some of the profits and put it into other coins. And my whole goal is, if I have not reached my 100 million goal, is that I'm going to be flipping this so much that I'll be able to reach that goal before it hits $1. And maybe even a whole lot more. Maybe I might have 200 million Shiba Inu by the time that before it hits $1. And this is what could happen. Just say, for instance, if Shiba Inu goes up to a penny, right? A lot of us, including a lot of people that I've seen across social media, are going to be selling at a penny. They all know it's going to go down from that point because it's a milestone that people will sell off at. And what's going to happen is a lot of people that are in the wealth transfer, we're going to be taking our profits and putting it into some of these other coins, say like Shiba Inu, or some of these coins that are still on the swaps. Well, what do you think is going to happen if you're not in position and you start pouring all this money into all these other coins, but you aren't able to, for whatever reason? You're not on your phone, you're not on your computer, you're going to be, some of these other coins, you're not going to be able to invest at the same point as where everybody else is investing. And that's why it's important, folks, to always try to buy with a buy limit order. Because if you guys do market orders, all you're doing is causing the price to skyrocket. And then other people aren't able to get in at a lower price because half the wealth transfer community is buying on market instead of a buy limit order. And then it skyrockets and then it gets out of reach for a lot of people for that moment. And we're going to be doing this hopefully collectively. right? We've shown how powerful the wealth transfer community can be if we work together. And there's a lot of people who don't want to work together. They don't want to invest in any of the things unless their religious beliefs line up with theirs. And I just say this, well, then don't invest in any of their cryptocurrencies that they've mentioned. The list that I have, if you guys don't agree with their beliefs, you know what? You might as well cut a third of those cryptocurrencies out. And if you don't believe Solomon or Dr. Maria Conwell, you might as well cut out most of those. And if you don't believe Chris, if you don't believe any of those, then you need to cut out every single one of those prophetic coins, because then you'd be a hypocrite for investing in it, because you don't mind taking the prophecy, you don't mind taking the money, but then you want to sit there and call all these people that are involved, prophetically speaking, in the wealth transfer. You want to call them witches, or you want to call them false prophets, but yet you're investing in their coins that they're saying. Some of you don't even know that you are. You've heard about Baby Doge. Well, where did that come from? Who originally talked about it? Right? But then you're knocking the same person who prophesied about it, but then yet you're turning around investing in it. So that makes you a hypocrite. And that's just a whole nother issue I'm going to be dealing with in another video here pretty soon anyway. But folks, we're here at the wealth transfer. We can work together as one, but not everybody does. And that's one of the reasons why people are making mistakes and buying the wrong swap coins and losing money, because everybody's trying to get into these prophetic coins before their time. And that's exactly what's going on. And I'll get into that in my next video. I'm still looking for the BTC flash crash to happen, and that's going to change a lot of things for a lot of people. And if you're not prepared for that, if your heart is not riding with that, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to fumble out of the wealth transfer, right? Because they're going to be so frustrated because they haven't been preparing themselves. They haven't been watching videos. They haven't been learning about cryptocurrency. And then when everything starts to happen, and then they're going to end up messing up. So that is all I have for today. So I thank you guys for listening. God bless. TC out.